Oh no, I'm all out of flower pots. What am I going to do? I am going to recycle. Hello everybody, this is Deb from Just Do Something Homestead, and I was thrilled to find a forsythia, a hydrangea, and a clematis at my local Aldi. But you know what? I don't have any more flower pots. So today I am going to show you how to take a used gallon container that used to hold water and make it into a flower pot. I have oodles of 4-inch flower pots. I even have a couple 5-inch flower pots. But when it comes to planting things such as shrubs or vines, I need something much taller, and I simply don't have them. So today I'm going to take this container and I'm going to show you how to convert it to a flower pot. Our new homestead to us has a house that was surrounded by stone, and so we are in the process of turning all of those beds into flower beds. In fact, I'll put a little clip next that shows you just how bad a condition they are in. And so I am starting to purchase some bulbs and some vines to plant, but the reality is these beds are not ready for them. So I am going to plant them in some flower pots. In less than an hour, we were able to pull out 5 overgrown, half-dead, smell like cat pee bushes. Today I have 2 ornamental shrubs and 1 vine to plant, but I also bought this bag that had 4 different types of bulbs in them. So I am going to take all these things and plant them into new containers. By planting them now in containers, I can be assured that they are going to live. If I was to wait another couple months until these flower beds were ready, I'm afraid all of these bulbs or plants would be dried up and I would lose my investment in them. So when I need to make sure that something gets planted and it's not going to be a while, I put them in pots. My favorite are these 1-gallon containers that used to hold water. And the reason I like that is they are tall and they are skinny. And so the first thing I do is decide how tall I want it. For this one, I'm going to plant the forsythia, and so I'm going to make it the tallest I can, and I'm going to use this top ridge. And to do that, I'm using a serrated knife, and I'm just going to go until I cut through that plastic. And at that point, I substitute with my scissors, and honestly, it cuts very, very easily. So I'm going to do that right now. It may be difficult to see, but I took the serrated knife and I cut down just the very top, and now I'm going to take the scissors and cut all around. I removed the top section from this water jug, and I wanted to show you something. The top of that container, if you were to use this now, you could use it as a funnel. So I hold on to these as well. I use the bottoms for pots, and I save the top because sometimes you just need a funnel. The next step is very important. You need to put holes in the bottom so that you have drainage. And I've placed 1 hole in there so far. In the past, I've taken a nail that I heated up and I would just melt the holes going all around. But I found a new trick that's even faster. Now I just use my drill. And as you see, I'm not putting a huge bit on the end. It's kind of small. And I'm going to put 4 or 5 holes in the bottom. Now, Jim taught me this trick. He said, let the drill do the work. So I am going to hold on it, but not push like crazy. It takes a little while to pop through. And just like that, I have another hole. So I'm going to go around and actually, I'm going to put a hole in each one of these sections. You want it to be well drained. And like that, I have 8 holes drilled into the bottom of my container. And so now the next step is to fill it with some potting soil that I already have mixed and then plant my forsythia. I like to stir up my own mixture of potting soils. It is a combination of 3 different ones, Promax and Whitney Farms, and the last one was Better Homes and Gardens, and all of them are organic. And please don't use seed starter because seed starter does not have nutrients in it to grow bulbs or vines or shrubs that we are doing today. So make sure you start with a very, very good assortment of soils. And I've added water to this, that's why I'm stirring it. So make sure it is moist. I've added a little potting soil to the bottom, and now I am going to put a tag on it so that I know exactly what is in this pot. And trust me, if you don't write it on there, you will forget. So this one is my forsythia. And these forsythias, thankfully, this one's looking pretty good, but they need to be planted right away. These are the type that are just in a plastic bag. So you're going to want to take it out, spread the roots out, and get it planted as soon as you can. I am thrilled to see this one actually has a root system. Sometimes it is just the stick with a little growth at the top, but this forsythia is actually growing. And now you can see why I wasn't going to be able to use a 4-inch pot. It simply wasn't going to be deep enough. I'm going to fill this in with some more potting soil and water it. Now remember, when you're watering it, you have all those big holes in the bottom, so make sure you put it onto a tray. And after today, I will start bottom watering it, because that's where the roots are and that's where they will absorb the moisture and bring it up to the plant. I'm going to recycle 2 more water bottles and make a pot for my hydrangea and for my clematis. First, I remove the label. Now I'm going to put it on its side, and I want another tall one, so I'm going to cut it on this ridge with my serrated knife. Once the knife is through, I take out the knife and I cut it straight with scissors. Now I'm going to remove any of these jagged edges by cutting it with the scissors and making it smooth on top. I'm going to drill 8 holes, 1 in each of these sections. There are 8 holes, and you know what? I just discovered something. I had been drilling them straight down. When I drill them on a sharp angle, it goes much faster. So drill them on an angle. Add some soil. Place a label on it. This one is my blue hydrangea, and then plant the flower. This one's root system is even more impressive. And then when I looked at the top, he's got a bud coming out. Well, that one I knew about. Right there. There's another little one really close. So I think the hydrangea is going to do well. I got these at Aldi this week, and you know what? They were all of $5, and that is so worth it because this house is white brick and there's nothing. And so this is going to perk it up and add some bright colors. I am grateful that I got this guy planted so soon because honestly, his stems were starting to get dried out. I don't think he would have made another couple weeks in this box. So that's the moral of the story. If you have these plants, don't leave them in the box. They will not make it. And ooh, look at this. My clematis is growing. That is pretty exciting because I really hesitate to buy these. They are in a plastic bag that is in dirt in a box. And so to be able to see them, sometimes they are like this and you're fine. Other times they have completely dried up and you're just wasting your money. So I did pretty well. I got 3 plants that I actually think are going to thrive. Now, because this one is much shorter, I'm going to be able to use one that I didn't cut as high. This one is only about 4 of the stripes up instead of 8. So much shorter, but that's all I need for the clematis. So I'm going to plant it the same as the others. Put some soil in the bottom, plant this, cover it up. And there is my blue clematis. And as you can see, I left the shoots coming out the top. Now the roots are completely buried. We're going to water him real good. And I planted my 2 shrubs and my 1 vine. Now I'm going to plant those 4 different types of flower bulbs. I'm now moving on to these bulbs that need to be planted. And I was pretty excited because the first one in here is liatris. And liatris is this light purple one. It grows on long stems and it gets flowers up and down the stem. That is one of my favorites. Another one, echinacea. That is what we call purple coneflower. Phlox are all these light ones that are big and airy. And the only one I didn't know was this one, Crocosmia, I think. Crocosmia? I'm not sure. If anybody knows how to tell or say that, just let me know. But that one I'm assuming are the little red ones. I have not seen those. But I am going to plant all 4 of these. And I'm going to show you my favorite recycled containers. And right here is my favorite one by far. This is organic half and half. And these little containers are so cute and they're thick. I buy these at Aldi and it's half and half. So we use at least one of those a week. This is what they come out looking like. So same type of deal. I take off the label. I use my serrated knife and start cutting it. And then I'm going to put the holes in the bottom. This one has 5 holes. And so I'm going to get started making flower pots. This is the first bulb that I pulled out. This is what I typically find. Something that is dried up and shriveled, and I really don't think it has a chance of surviving. This is the phlox, and it is hollow. It is light, but all I can do is plant it and hope for the best. Now, with this one, it was so large, though, I decided not to use my little containers, and I went back to a water bottle one. So I'm going to try to sprout these roots. They're actually crispy, so I don't have a lot of hope for this. I'd say it's probably got about a 10% chance of coming back to life, but you just never know. I've prepared 5 of these with holes in the bottom. They're all cut, ready to go. The hardest thing about using these is making sure that your family actually does not put them in recycling, but keeps them for you. And if there's anything I don't care about them, is that they don't stack up. So at the end of the season, I definitely use them. I keep them, I reuse them, but they do not stack up. So that's a downside to using these recycled flower pots. This combo bag also came from Aldi, but so far it's not looking too good. This is the echinacea, and again, I can't even find the top. I'm assuming it's that, but it is completely dried out. I will plant it. I will hope for the best, but the roots are so brittle, they're just breaking off. So far, the first 2 I pulled out, it's not looking very hopeful. And finally, some good news. This is my liatris, the one thing I really wanted out of this package, and there are 10 of them. They are getting buds on the top, roots on the bottom, and so I'm putting 4 in my large container and just barely cover it with a little dirt. And I'm going to keep them in the big container. That way they're easier to plant in little bunches of 4. That leaves me 5 red crocosmia bulbs. I think that's how you say it. And so I'm going to put 1 in each of my smaller containers. And they actually look really good. They're solid. I think they are going to grow well too. One thing that I didn't mention about using these recycled containers is that they are see-through. And so I can look at the root systems that are growing with each of these plants, and I absolutely love that. It tells me I have sweet potatoes outside planted, and it shows me how strong their root systems are. And there you have it, all of the pots that I was able to recycle. Now I found another one. I was short one, so I found a milk jug. But all of these pots are recycled, and all of these plants I had gotten very inexpensively. Most of them are going to do fantastic. There's a few I don't think have any hope of going on, but you just never know. That's why I love gardening. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. You have a blessed weekend, and thank you so much for all your support. Bye-bye.